Hi, I'm Hope Spano from the Minneapolis Area Chamber of Commerce, and today I have with me Clara Mull from the Ottawa County Farm Bureau. Thanks so much for joining us today.
You're
We're
welcome.
glad to have you. And so we're just going to tell our viewers a little bit about Ottawa County Farm Bureau, what they have to offer, you know, some of the details of how long they've been around, how long you've been with them. So I would love to just start out and have you tell me a little bit about your story with the Ottawa County Farm Bureau.
Okay, well, I am the county coordinator with the Ottawa
Okay.
County Farm Bureau, and I have been in that position for almost 9 years.
Oh, nice.
And as the county coordinator, I'm like the secretary for the board. Anything that the board of directors would like to have done, the programs, things like that, is what I do. And then I'm kind of the face of Ottawa County Farm Bureau, and when I go into the schools and all of our programs that we do, I do most of those.
Okay, that's very nice. And you said that you're on, or you help the board of directors.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about like the structure of the board of directors and their role with the Ottawa County Farm Bureau.
We have a 11-member board of directors.
Okay.
They are elected for 2 years at a time, with our women's leadership chair. That person is elected yearly. We also have 2 FFA Ag ambassadors, and that's a scholarship position that the FFA seniors apply for, and they sit on our board of directors. They're not able to vote, but they sit on our board of directors, and they are able to chime in on all of the issues that we're talking about. And so they're not non-voting, but we actually value all of their opinions.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to get the youth involved.
Yes.
And they're, you know, the leaders of tomorrow, so to see maybe some ideas or visions that they have on the directions that some of these programs should go. And
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And also it's the other way around, in that a lot of the board of directors, that is their only way of connecting to the high school FFA students. So the board of directors, they really enjoy listening and learning from the high school FFA kids about what they've been doing, what they're looking to do in their future. And so it works both ways. We
Yeah,
learn a
I've
lot
thought
from
of that,
them.
yeah.
They're able to learn what a structured board meeting is like. It's sometimes their first glimpse at budgeting, learning how budgets work, and how that all goes together. So it really does work both ways for us.
so do they give kind of a report on what's going on?
Yes.
With their chapters
Yes,
and stuff?
every month.
That's great.
They come to the board meeting and they sit, and yes, it's on our agenda. They give an update of what they've been doing, what's coming up, and
That's neat.
and so yes, it's
Okay.
a big part of our board.
Okay. Well, we have spoken before about how there seems to be a little bit of confusion with a lot of the general public. And I'm really hoping that we can kind of clear that up a little bit today for you
Yes.
guys. A lot of people don't understand the difference between Ottawa County Farm Bureau and Farm Bureau Financial Services. And so I would love for you to explain a little bit about that and hopefully educate some people on what the difference is.
Okay, well, Kansas Farm Bureau started back in 1919, and actually Farm Bureau, the American Farm Bureau, started even before that, and it was started by farmers as a way to give a voice to the farm families, and to help farm families out with issues that were unique to a farmer, such as access to insurance. So Farm Bureau was developed and as a voice for agriculture, and as a benefit, if that farmer wished to purchase insurance, they could. And so the different states took that on. Kansas Farm Bureau started in 1919. And there is a county Farm Bureau office in every county in the state of Kansas.
Okay.
And technically, you have to join Ottawa County Farm Bureau as a member, and if you wish to have insurance, then you can purchase the insurance through the Farm Bureau Financial Services offices. And I say technically because really you can go in and you can get your insurance, and then you have to pay a membership fee to belong to Ottawa County Farm Bureau. You don't have to do that first, but yes.
So they're very closely tied,
They're
but
closely-
two different things entirely.
Yes. Farm Bureau Financial Services is run through a company in Iowa,
Okay.
and we are under Kansas Farm Bureau's office, which is
Okay.
located in Manhattan. So you can't have one. You can't have insurance without being a member. But anyone can be a member of Ottawa County Farm Bureau without having to purchase the insurance. It's just like being
Okay.
a member of any type of organization. If that organization is how you want to voice your, have your voice heard on many different levels, then you join that organization. And that's the same with us. Anyone can join Ottawa County Farm Bureau, and you do not have to purchase the insurance product.
Okay, it's just one of the
It's just-
different benefits
Yes.
of it. So,
Yeah.
well, that's nice that you have each state has their own farm bureau, and then you guys are kind of umbrellaed with that.
Yes.
So all the counties throughout the state do the same thing, have the same systems, essentially.
Essentially, yes, but every county has their own Farm Bureau office. But what is kind of neat about Kansas Farm Bureau is that each county is in charge of what they do. There isn't
Okay.
anything that we have to do. Something that works in western Kansas for a particular county might not work for Ottawa County, and the same way, we might come up with an idea that works for our county that will not work down in Sedgwick County because of the difference in sizes and things like that. So that's where our board comes in, and essentially Kansas Farm Bureau will promote different programs and that we pick up on, and then we promote to help our own membership, or if it is a particular type of person that we think it would work for, then we contact them.
Okay. Well, that's great then that you guys have the support system there for
Yes.
the things that you need to do, but also have that freedom and flexibility to kind of cater what works in the area.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so you told me about how it's membership based.
Yes.
And I'd love for you to tell me a little bit more about what the membership entails. Is it annual? How much it is? Those types of things.
It is $50 a year to
Okay.
become a member of Ottawa County Farm Bureau, and it's billed yearly. And what that money goes to is, of that $50, we get $22. The rest of it goes to Kansas Farm Bureau for them to use for the statewide programs. There is also just a small, maybe $1 that goes to the American Farm Bureau. But the money that we get from all of our memberships, which we have around 600 people as members,
Awesome.
that is the money that we use for all of our programs. We are a not-for-profit organization, and we try to be really good stewards of that money and make sure that we are bringing good programs to Ottawa County, and that it is for the benefit of our members. A lot of the programs that we do are for a lot of people that aren't members, for just the general public also.
Okay. But that's great that you guys are just use the funds basically to accomplish the things that you're trying to
Yes.
do around the county, and your members make that happen. So it's good because then they feel that connection with making things happen as well.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
good. 600 members, that's a lot because, I mean, how many people we even have in this county?
Yeah,
You know
well-
what I mean? That's a good percentage.
Right. It is. We do have people from out of county that are members.
Okay.
If they happen to get their insurance in Ottawa County, they can say, what county would you like your membership to be in? And we also have like absentee landowners that are, live all over the world and
Still own land here. Yeah.
still own land here, and they get their insurance through the Farm Bureau's offices, so they have their membership with us. So
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
that
we
makes
have a
sense.
lot of out-of-county people also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this might be a silly question, but are all of your members like only farmers or ranchers?
No.
Or do you have, because I think some people probably think, well, I don't farm, so I wouldn't need to be a member of Ottawa County Farm Bureau.
Right.
So-
That's a good question. No, because if you happen to get your house insured with Farm Bureau Financial Services or your car, then you have to be a member. And so there are a lot of non-farm members, but we like to say, if you ate, you're involved in agriculture.
So true.
And so we welcome everyone, farm, rural, in town, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Everybody's involved in agriculture, and so that's what our base is, and that's where we get our funds to promote our programs. And a lot of our programs might be to point out to non-farm people a lot of the issues that are going on, and so we try to draw from everyone.
Yeah, and even myself personally as a non-farmer, like I love the information that you give me so many times about what's going on or issues that are going on, because
Yeah.
I have that disconnect from the rural community and the farmers and ranchers out there, but we are such an agriculture-based community that I think it's important for people like me to still understand
Right.
those things that our farmers and ranchers are going through, because it dramatically affects our economy here.
Yeah, it does. Well,
so-
I think most people are like 3 generations away from the farm. And so with less than 2% of people actually in production agriculture, we have a lot of things that we need to let the general public know about.
Yeah. Okay, well, I would love for you to tell me a little bit about some of the programs you guys do make happen here in Ottawa County.
Okay. Well, we try to stay busy every month. We are, whether it's in the school or downtown, we try to stay busy every month. And some of the things that we do throughout the year, like in July, we are active in the Ottawa County Fair.
Yeah.
We always help with the pedal tractor pull, which is a big draw with over 100 kids
Yeah, it's
coming
always
to
a big
that.
hit.
It's a big hit, and so we just help, with that. And then we have a watermelon feed, which we hand out free watermelon to the fair growers. And maybe that doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but it gives a lot of people a chance to visit with the board members about farm issues, and a lot of the things that we discuss are not necessarily farm issues as political issues. We talk a lot about what goes on in Topeka and in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of things that affect a lot of people and not just farmers. So we can visit with people just as they come by, and we can talk about issues. And one of the great things about Farm Bureau is it is a grassroots organization. And so if there's issues that are going on out in the county, whether it's a farm thing or not, then we can tell our people that represent us, who then take it on to either Topeka or to Washington, D.C. And we have resolutions, we have things that we come up with that are then presented to legislators. And so if we know about it, and a lot of that is just by visiting with the people that are out and about. So we really value that time at the county fair.
Yeah, just to make those connections with
Yes.
everyone. Yeah, it's a great idea.
We also at the county fair, we have these livestock banners that we put around, and it's just information about different types of livestock. They're 6-foot banners that we just did that last year. It was our first year for doing that. And it's just basic information about different kinds of livestock that people may not know about.
That's a good idea.
So, we try to promote things as we go. And then in September with the school, one of the big things that we do is our Ag Awareness Day with the 5th graders. We invite every 5th grader in our county. So we have the 3 grade schools. They bus the kids into the fairgrounds, and we have set up 12 informational stations, and the kids are broken into groups of like 9 or 10. We involve the FFA students at the high school to come down, and they're the group leaders. And so these kids are then taken around. They rotate through the stations, and so we'll talk about wheat and corn and soybeans. That's kind of the basic stuff that's kind of grown around here. But we also talk about GMO issues. Fifth grade kids they're listening. They know what's going on, and so and they do listen to their parents, and so they have some opinions formed already. And so we have someone come in and they talk about GMOs. We had a gentleman come from K-State, the Polytechnic campus, and he talked about drones and the technology involved, and how that's just a area that is just exploding. And so you know, it gives kids something to think about. Maybe that's something they want to be involved in when they're you know, in high school or where they want to go for college. We have a gentleman come from John Deere, and he talked about the technology involved. Running a tractor is nothing like it used to be 20 years ago. The technology involved is just phenomenal. And so, you know, he talked about that. And so you can be involved in agriculture and not be actually out in the field, just with the way the technology is. We have a family that brings in some sheep and goats. That is not a commodity that is big around Ottawa County, and so kids might not understand all of the products we get from those types of livestock. And they talk about, you know, what comes from the livestock, and then the care involved in that. Of course, we do have the beef cattle that we bring in, and that's something that a lot of kids, you know, they see out in the pasture, so they know about. But our guys talk about a lot of the care that's given, and some of the antibiotics and things, why we use it, when we use it. So they get across a lot of the issues or the things that kids will be hearing, but we want them to hear it from the farmer and know exactly why those things are given. Some of the other things we've done, we've brought in, you know, the big equipment, and they get to crawl around on the tractors. They get to look at those great big planters and drills. And then we feed them lunch. And during lunchtime, one of the big activities that the kids seem to like is the roping dummies. And so they get to try to rope the dummy and things like that. And then last year, one of our big stations that we did at the end of the day was we brought DS&O in, the electrical company, and they had a big trailer. And they talked to the kids about electricity. The trailer had live wires on it. They showed what happens if a wire comes down, and the how powerful electricity is. And so that was a big hit last year that we'll try to continue. We do that every September. Last year was our 11th year to do that. So we've been doing it for a while.
Great things about the program. And it sounds like, you know, even kids who are involved in agriculture still get a lot out of that day.
Yes,
you know,
they do.
even it's not like, oh, cows again, I have cows at my house. You know, like just a well-rounded experience, and they're going to learn things about power, and I mean, you know, all the kids can benefit from that. So that's good that everybody's getting so much information and education from that. And, and like we talked about that disconnect where you're saying, you know, only 2% of the population are farmers or ranchers, and so it's important for the kids to grow up understanding that industry, even if their family's not involved with it. So,
yes, definitely.
Well, those are some great programs. And I want to go back for just a minute because I wanted to talk about some of the membership benefits too, but I wanted to talk about some of your programs. So I would love for you to kind of let some of the people out there know what are some of the great benefits? Because I know it takes about that long to get your $50 back from your membership fee
Yes.
with the benefits that you get. So I
Right.
would love to teach them a little bit about that.
Well, once you become a member of Ottawa County Farm Bureau, then there is a list of benefits that you get, and such as if you use your cell phone and you have Nextech or Verizon, you get 13% back every month. And
Oh,
so,
wow.
like for ours, we get $9 a month back, or it's a credit on our bill. So that doesn't take very long to
Basically pays for
make
your membership.
pays
through
for
that,
your
yeah.
membership. Some of the shopping around in Salina, if you're a Sam's Club member, you get I think it's $25 off your Prime member, or $10 off your basic membership fee. Here in town, at All Seasons, if you buy a grasshopper mower, you save 15% off of a new grasshopper mower.
Nice.
Some of the other things, there are a lot of travel benefits. So if you, the hotels, there's 2 different hotel chains that you get 20% off of. If you go to Kansas City very often, we have several benefits at Kansas City. If you're going to go to Silver Dollar City, which is down in Branson, there's several different benefits for that area. If you're a football fan, Kansas City Chiefs tickets are discounted.
Oh, nice.
So there's just a big array of benefits. If you're a farmer and you're interested, like Case IH has discounts. So all you have to do is when you go in and you've purchased, you just show them your membership card. Sometimes you might have to take a coupon with you. It depends on the actual benefit.
Okay.
But it's really easy to find out, what you need, and you go in and you just boom, you get that discount, and it does not take very long at all to save
Okay.
your $50 for sure.
Okay, so I'm sure after hearing some of this information, some people will be saying, okay, how do I contact someone about Ottawa County Farm Bureau? So
Yes.
what's the contact? Are you the contact, or who
Well,
would they call?
You can just stop in at the Farm Bureau office.
And they have all the information.
They have
there.
all the information, or yes, you can contact me. Just call me up and I can give you the information. If you want to go ahead and get the application, not a problem, I can get that to you, and so can they're at the office, the Farm
Okay.
Bureau office.
And then I know you guys have a web page on the MinneapolisKansas.org website, so people could go to your web page there and get contact information as
Right.
well. And you guys have a Facebook page?
We have a
correct?
Facebook page, yes.
So if they just typed in Ottawa County Farm Bureau on
Yes,
Facebook,
it would come up.
It would
Uh-huh.
come up, and they could maybe message you or connect with you that way as well.
Right.
Sounds like there's a lot of options.
Yes.
Very easy to get in contact with you
Yes.
to find out about memberships.
Right.
Okay, well, gosh, that's a lot of good information. Is there anything that I didn't ask you about that maybe you were wanting to share today?
Well, we just we listen to our members, and like I said, you don't have to be a farmer to be a member, and if there's things going on in the county, we try to be involved with it. We try to help with problems coming up, and we have the backing of Kansas Farm Bureau, so there's not a whole lot we can't do.
Okay, that is good to know. Well, thank you so much for joining
Okay.
us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. That is it from Minneapolis area today. Join us next time.